There is something I realized recently that society has produced the superstructure that is business. The businessman is a perfect instrument in producing the bottom line, the profits of a company, the profits of an industry, should they be a major player in it. And the effectiveness of everyone that makes up an office building, a company, a foundation. Uh, all the people play such an intrinsic role purely by the evolution of business in the past 100 and over years. Um, we have, as humans, in every country, in every society, become effective in societal jobs, in societal realities, which produce and are designed to produce money, wealth, that can be traded with other companies, that can be traded in other businesses and industries. And indeed, all businesses and industries must collaborate in order to produce future development of the creation of wealth, the acquisition of wealth, and the expansion of human ability. But there is a problem. There is a problem with business. There's a problem with not just capitalism, but uh, the there might be a capitalistic model for business that the vast majority of societies in the world accept. But the problem is deeper than just that. Deeper than capitalism. It's that everyone is out for themselves. Everyone cares about making more than than the company, than the person, than the industry beside them. Everyone wants to take a bigger piece of that which is produced, and that which is produced translates to different kinds of wealth, different kinds of proprietary value, different kinds of power in the form of real estate, and the the pit that we all threw ourselves in when we accepted society, when we accepted as human beings, civilization as it has advanced, as it has developed, to the extent that really we've gone back. We've gone back thousands of years because of the mindset we're in now, because it's might is right. And it's not necessarily military might, though it's often military right. And it's not necessarily obvious brutality or cruelty or strength. A lot of the time, it's might is right in the business world. My company is better at strategizing, so I win. I get more of the wealth produced. I get more of the production value a society can produce, a people can produce, that I happen to be in. If I am able to buy out a certain amount of the industry, whatever industry I'm in, whether it be steel, whether it be food, whether it be oil, whether it be honey, if I'm able to buy out enough of it, then I get to control the prices based on an infinite demand if I control most of the market. And if somebody has a monopoly like that, then one can control the price of the product they're producing, as long as people still want it or are willing to trade their money for it at the prices that one puts it at. Now, this structure, this business structure, this structure that has been founded by capitalism, but is basically ingrained in most societies in humanity at this time, this structure is sound. We have workers, we have secretaries, we have architects, we have those who inspect things, we have those who are experts in producing things and altering things and inventing new machines to perform different tasks. And the structure, if we imagine it as a skyscraper, that kind of building, a very large building, all the beams have been placed over time in how we operate. They have all been crafted by the people who have been trying to improve this structure. This is all an analogy. And this structure, this tower, has become very developed, very high, and it's very sound. The only problem is that it, within its veins, within the the veins of the building, within the channels in this building, the force, the energy is directed in the wrong direction, and it seeks to produce the wrong thing. What do I mean by that? Just imagine a skyscraper that energy is going through. You can imagine it, just through different offices, through each floor, and then up. What most people that are in business or in any kind of society which operates like a business society, like capitalism, the main goal is to produce success for who you work for and who you're allied with, as far as your family. To produce success for your family and who you work for, so that your group can benefit, your tribe can benefit. And most of the time, it is irregardless of the other tribes, other people's families, and other people's structures, other people's office buildings, and basically is a culture of incompassion, an uncompassionate culture, which is dog eat dog. Might is right. Whoever has the most ability and the skill to produce a better business are those who succeed, and everyone else who can't fails. And that's inconsequential to one's own tribe, one's own company, one's own family. And this is a way that we still haven't progressed past tribalism. Now, I propose that this structure is perfect. It exists. But there are two things that we can alter. There are two intrinsic values that we can alter within ourselves to change what this structure produces and how it produces it. Now, as it sits, the structure of business produces wealth, and its means are whatever means are most effective at it. There isn't a moral code past, governmental laws. But I propose that since this structure exists, it can be geared towards not producing wealth, but producing health and freedom for humanity. Producing prosperity for the least fortunate. The structure that exists in business, it can be made to have its number one goal in producing prosperity and freedom and happiness for the people who are least fortunate. Now, this may seem like an impossible business model. This isn't business. This is a different use of the business that has been created, a different priority, a different motive. But even as a profit-motivated business, if the most unfortunate, if the most downtrodden among humanity can be raised up, then humanity will actually be more effective in producing resources, getting beyond this planet, and thriving as a sentient race. If we uplift the smallest among us, the most in need, the immediate nature of this would not be financial benefit, but overall it would. But it goes beyond being able to benefit personally from this. It goes to the fact that I believe voidism should exist. The compassionate and openness of voidism, as I understand it, as I'm trying to get published in my book, this is the reappropriation of the structure, the reassignment of business that as it is now, because business is trying to produce wealth, but it can be geared towards producing prosperity, upliftment, freedom for the least among us. And I believe, and this is just a compassionate belief, this isn't something that I can make other people believe, I believe that a human life is the most valuable resource in the universe. A sentient life, rather, is the most valuable resource. A single minute of a human life is to such an extent such a quality above anything else, but of any other substance, even if it can be measured in neurons and the electricity in the brain, even if it can be measured like that, it is far more valuable than all the wealth in the universe, all the gold you can muster, all the energy. Sentient life produces quality in a single moment, like a powerhouse, like an energy plant. And if we can learn to accept our brothers and sisters around the world, if we can learn to help them, the quality of these moments that are produced by sentient life, that are gold, they can add up to infinite expansion as a race, as a human race. Now, our tactics as human beings in business, they have to do with undercutting each other. If they were rather geared into another direction, if they were improved, as I believe, then we could not undercut each other, but raise each other, because we would have the strength to realize the long-term goals of uplifting humanity and the benefits for everyone. And the bottom line, the wealth, the money, wouldn't need to be the goal, because ultimately it's not going to get humanity anywhere. Producing without a meaning, without a goal as to what the production is used for, it's not feasible for the future of humanity. The structure that I'm talking about, the business structure, if we can learn to redirect through better motives the energy in this structure, that already exists in business, if we can learn to redirect it all, then it'll actually become a structure that'll both last longer and produce more. Even if you're just a businessman, you have no compassion, it will produce more because of the effectiveness of humanity that is raised up in all the different ways that I've mentioned. And the means actually won't change as much as the motivation. The means may instead focus on producing medicine at cost, producing school programs and education for the youth, and medical care for those in distant countries. And finally, just the acceptance of certain things in the justice system, and reformation based on the acceptance that people can change. Instead of punishment, we practice reformation of people. These things will propel us to a whole new level of effective sentient life, and they can exist within this business structure that is already established, that has been built by society, by civilization for hundreds and hundreds of years. And we don't have to get rid of the whole structure itself. We just have to use it for a different, through a different intention and with different means. And that's basically all I got to say about how we can use a structure of business to a better end. But this has occurred to me over time. I didn't realize that the structure of business as it is, the capitalism that exists, could be used to a more effective and compassionate end. But recently I've realized the structure is there. We just have to use it in a different way. And that's all I got to say for right now. Thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a great day. Remember to be kind and compassionate, for it'll benefit you and everyone around you.